Games new to me. Please like and subscribe.
Hey guys, Rob here for Games New to Me, and today I've got something kind of personal to talk to you about. No gimmicks, no desire for sympathy, none of that. I just happened to read something that struck extremely close to home, and I wanted to share it. But at the same time, I want to kind of drop this huge weight that's sitting on my chest. The article in question is titled, Die Anxiety, Die, How Violent Video Games Aid My Mental Health. Written by Cassie Dialmo of themarysue.com. In the article, she details her lifelong struggle with anxiety and how violent video games saved her. Let me read you some excerpts, and please watch till the end because I have something kind of personal I want to add to this. She says, "At a young age, I knew I was different, but always just hid behind a theater kid exterior and chalked all my anxiety up to, quote, budding creativity, unquote. That just needed an outlet. Surprise! Turns out my anxiety is actually a chemical imbalance in my brain that kept escalating until it exploded." She goes on to say, "I loved computer games growing up. Personally, I adored Roller Coaster Tycoon. Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego and The Sims? Who didn't, right? Then my brother and I got our first gaming system, the PS2, in 2000, and I fell in love. We weren't allowed to have violent games, but I played everything else. Sly Cooper was always my favorite." She goes on to say that while in high school, she hid her video gaming from her friends because it had a stigma attached to it, especially for girls who played video games. Back then, video games were considered something that boys played and eventually grew out of. I can well understand her desire to hide her gaming, as she was not only nearing adulthood but also a girl who loved playing video games. She says in her article, "In hiding all of this from everyone, I didn't play much of anything new until I hit college. It was then that I discovered Assassin's Creed." She describes her discovery of Assassin's Creed and how she got really good and playing it to where she got very good. She goes into great detail about the various ways she would plan out her attacks on her digital enemies. Later, after meeting a man and falling in love, getting married, she discovered the world of violent video games. She describes her introduction to these games like this. "Suddenly, and without warning, my style of video game came up and slapped me across the face. Plot-driven shooters. Dave, the aforementioned nerd husband, pre-ordered Dishonored, and I went to pick it up when he was out one day. I thought I'd give it a shot. Why not? Next thing I knew, he was walking in the door hours later. It was like nothing I'd ever played before. I took all my anxiety from the day and channeled it into Corvo and his mission to get back the kidnapped princess and clear his name. I beat that game so fast." The crux of her article is as follows, and I'm quoting it here once again. "Video games are so much more to me than simple games. They are a way of calming myself down, relaxing my anxious thoughts, and becoming a sneaky ninja." So why did this article strike so close to home for me? It's not something I like talking about or revealing publicly, but I figure if it helps someone, then it'll be worth it. I also feel like it'll allow you guys to understand why this channel even exists. Ever since I can remember, from my earliest childhood memories, anxiety was an unwelcome companion in my life. From the first day of school and vomiting into a garbage can from nerves, to never being able to eat lunch because I was so anxious. This was all in either the late 70s or early 80s, so the video games weren't even an option for me. Things got worse as in 1981, while grocery shopping with my father, he was shot. I don't want to go into detail about who shot him or why, but let's just say it was work-related and leave it at that. The next 3 years of my life were a constant reality of my father getting better and then relapsing. I had to repeat the 3rd grade because I missed 8 months of school due to everything that was happening at home. Eventually things settled down to a certain degree, but after 3 years of generalized craziness, I was now walking around with my old pal anxiety and his new tag-along friend, undiagnosed post-traumatic stress disorder. I was a very lonely kid, and it is hell. Absolute and complete, invisible to outsiders hell, living with anxiety and PTSD. But I saved up enough money to buy the original NES, and that was literally a game changer for me. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it fixed my problems. It didn't, but it gave me a respite. It gave me a chance to step outside myself, leave my anxiety and PTSD at the door, and become engrossed in the world of the video game I was playing. I don't want to write my life story, but suffice to say that many more things happened to me that just piled onto my PTSD. Certainly working in Washington, D.C. on Capitol Hill during the days of September 11th and the subsequent anthrax attacks didn't help. That's an understatement, really. These events proved to break many more final straws in my already weakened psyche to the point of rendering me disabled. The one constant, the one thing that was always there to save me from myself were video games. No matter what was going on, I could always turn off my brain and be the character in the game that had all the answers that could fix, solve, or be anything he or she wanted. Basically everything I couldn't do. I went undiagnosed with extreme generalized anxiety and massive post-traumatic stress disorder for about 24 years. My anxiety and PTSD are now being controlled to some extent with medication, but I'm far from unbroken or even close to fixed. That's where this channel comes in. This channel is my outlet to talk about something that means a lot to me. Something that was there for me in my darkest hours, something that took me out of myself, and something I dearly love to this very day. Still, being very solitary, this channel serves as a way to communicate with the outside world, a way to be heard and to hear others. Guys, life with anxiety is exceptionally hard. People can't see the hurt that goes on inside, and those who suffer from anxiety learn quickly to put on a mask and pretend to be like everyone else, but this act is extremely difficult to pull off for any extended periods of time. So you see, this channel is therapeutic for me. I don't want you to feel bad for me. I'm not looking for pity. My scars are decades old, and I've learned that they will always be a part of me. I'm saying this to those of you who feel like you're the only one in the world that feels such incredible discomfort in your own skin that you would scream if it didn't draw attention to you. You're not alone. There is help out there. And most importantly, the sooner you get help for your anxiety or your PTSD, the better your life will be in the future. Don't go a quarter of a century before getting help. Don't fall for any stigmas about getting help. I'm with Cassie D'Almo on this. Video games saved me, and many people like her and me. I know Boogie2988 talked about how video gaming saved him. That's it, guys. That's the big secret. That's the main reason for this channel's existence. I'm not looking for riches or internet fame. I'm looking to get better, and for peace of mind, and to talk about something that has saved me, and that's video games. Thank you guys for hearing me out. I hope you know that when I say I appreciate every one of you, that it'll now make sense how I can mean it that sincerely. To my subscribers, I keep saying this, but I can't even put it into words what you guys mean to me. This community, one I never expected to form, that is growing around this channel is amazing and just, I don't know how to put it into words. You guys are amazing and I thank you so much. To anyone who just stumbled across this long and rambling video and you suffer from anxiety, let me know, either in the comments below, or on Twitter, or on Facebook, and let me know if I can help somehow. It is a very tough road, and I want you to know you're not alone on it. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. This is Rob for Games New to Me saying, if you need help, don't be afraid to ask for it. Be good to each other, and I'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.